How much time left? Okay, guys. Hi, guys. Happy Teachers' Day. Before I start the conversation with my alma mater, my professor, my mentor, let me dedicate a small song to him. The song is something which I loved it and always remember whenever a teacher's days come, and it's always inspire me. And before we start the heart-to-heart conversation with my professor, let me introduce to you Professor Moloy Chakravorty. He's an entrepreneur and founder of Beyond Red Ocean Consulting. It is one of the partners of world's number one business consulting company, Action Coach Global, based in Las Vegas. He has a total industry experience of 30 plus and worked for 23 years with global organizations across India, Middle East, and Africa. As a business growth coach for Action Coach, his vision is to help business owners achieve their goals faster through their philosophy, abundance through business re-education. And he's definitely helped me also in that. Action Coach works with small and medium businesses across 76 countries for the past 27 years to exponentially grow their revenues and profit by transforming the systems, process, and the people. They are currently coaching 14,900 businesses globally every week. Mr. Mulay Chakravorty is also a faculty with B schools across Mumbai, Delhi, Dubai, and Singapore. And that's where I met him in Bombay in Wellinga College. Welcome, Mr. Sir. It's a great pleasure to have you on the day of our Teacher's Day. I have learned everything through you, my MBA, my nuisance of MBA, the expertise of MBA through you. Can I have some words from you on a Teacher's Day?
Nishant, good evening. I think you are humility personified, first of all, right? If I were to ever to teach you anything to do with finance and CA, you would not be where you are today. So you yourself are extremely successful chartered accounting firm, and I have no clue about chartered accountancy. So yes, we did spend over 2 semesters together when we spoke about general management and marketing management. But that's all that I know. But it's always a pleasure talking to you. And all. And the good thing is, you're one of those people with whom I've stayed connected for last 12 years now, 12,
Yeah,
13 years, right?
20,
So you must
2008.
2008,
Yeah.
2008 when we first met in as a faculty and a student, so-called faculty and so-called student, right? Because we were both successful in each other's profession even then, right? But the good thing is that we have grown together, and I pick your brains on multiple things, and you give me advice on multiple things. So I think it's mutual. So I should also say Happy Teachers Day to you for teaching me finance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. But coming to the brand management and the way you
Yeah.
evolved, the entrepreneur and small businessman, hats off to you, sir. I've seen you and I've learned a lot from you on a brand management. So my social media account, which I do and create my own brand, which I'm trying to, I don't know how successful I'm been. It's all dedicated to you, the way you have taught us in a semester of 2007 and 2008. It was great to learn from you. So I always felt that if you ever want to gratitude, the best day is a teacher's day to say, and thank you for being always there. And the
Thank you.
journey
Thank you,
never
Nishant.
ended there. The journey never ended
Yeah.
on 2008. After completing my MBA from Wellington, it is not that the journey ended. I've been in touch with you from 2008 till 2020, 12 years, more than a decade. And you are just a
Correct.
call away. It was never a chance that I wanted to get some information or some guidance from you. You were always there. And that's what mentors and teachers are. We really feel that the journey and the learning never stops. And if you have the mentor and the blessings of your teachers, your professors, you're always successful. And the guidance which you gave me always inspired me to reach more success and always inculcate whatever I learned from you in my business. Thank you for that.
No, thank you, Nishant. Thank you for your very, very kind and generous words. But the fact of the matter is, the ladies and gentlemen who are watching this program, they would not know probably that one of the logos that they see behind me, BNI, is an inspiration from Nishant. One of the logos that I put on Rotary as a Rotarian is an inspiration from Nishant. So I think at some point in time, we need to let go of the faculty student that tags and see how we can learn from each other. I think every single individual in this world can teach us a lot of things if we have that mind open. Like today, I was doing a webinar and I said, if your mind is open like an umbrella, anybody can come and teach you because he or she is a specialist in their field. Right. So, Nisha, thank you for the generous words, but I
But
have
sir,
learned so much from you.
I'll believe in
And again, and
something.
let me complete. And a lot of people don't know that when one of our businesses, Nishant is a chartered accountant, right? So he
Thank you,
guides
sir.
us.
Thank you for trusting me with
He
that.
guides us. So he guides us. He tells us what needs to be done, what not, what should not be done. How do you maintain legal compliances? How do you stay above your head above water? He teaches us a lot of things. So every single day is a learning.
Sir,
Yeah.
but
So
whatever happened, I always be thankful to my professor who has been touched after the course is over. This is something all professors do not have, and we don't have that bonding with the professor also that we keep in touch with them. And the
yeah.
bonding is something which help us to grow more. One is an academic studies, what you learn in Wellinger or any MBA college. But what is important is after the learning is over, how could you use that learning in your practical life? And that's where professors like you, my mentors, my teachers like you, have helped me guided and helped me to evolve. What I was in 2008 and what I'm right now is way back. And that's the success which I attribute to my teachers because they have been teaching me beyond the academic self, and which is something very important as an MBA student. I always believe the guidance should be coming because you are the people who actually teach us. You are the guru. You always help us to how to fight in the real world, and that's what is important.
Yeah, Nishant, to everybody, I would just leave one message. And in whatever sphere of life that we are in, let's not become transactional. Let's look at a relationship, right? So, with you, I had that good fortune of spending what 5 6 months or about 8 months together in those 2 semesters, right? But the relationship that has developed is a long enduring relationship, and unfortunately a lot of people, including me, I'm not saying I'm perfect, including me, we are always looking at the short term ki chalo aaj 4 5 mahine mein mujhe inke sath kaam karna hai, and then I'm out, then I'm out of that sphere, out of that domain. Let's look at the next one, and let's look at the next one. Let's look at the next one. So we are always going from one to another. We are not using that plus in between. कि ये plus ये plus ये plus ये plus ये. अगर वो plus add करते जाएंगे ना, तो look at the relationships that we will build. Look at the knowledge that we will build for all of us. Right? It's not that one after the other. It's one plus one. Right? And
Definitely.
and again, and again, so many people we meet, so many great individuals we meet, हम लोग खत्म हो जाते हैं और भूल जाते हैं. And I sincerely hope that even I'm trying to change, a lot of people should look at it that how do we keep on building, because our learning is, like you rightly said, learning is never ending.
I still remember the last lecture of year, and we never thought a professor will be so generous and so bonding with like a friendship that he will actually treat us. I remember we had the entire batch of us. We went to
Yeah.
Kulsan chai, the cutting chai, to have some
Correct.
chai
Correct.
pitcher china cutting, and that
Correct.
was the
Chai
best
pitcher.
gesture from only you. So I've been with, I was a company class representative, and I've been interacting with technically all the professors in the last, in the three SEMs. But you were the only person. And that's where the bond increased. And that's where we learned that the professor is not only a dominating teacher, but he can be a friend also. He can be a mentor. And that's where I still remember that. If you know, sir, that half an hour was amazing time spent with you, where you're having a cutting
Correct.
chai with your professor, which is something you normally don't see in a B school also. Because you can have it in the college canteen, but going outside the canteen is beyond the college campus is something which increases the bond between a mentor or professor. And thanks to you, we love that.
No, that so let me add what I get back from this. I'll tell you about, and I've done this with all my batches of Bellinger. Every single batch we used to go and have that cutting chai or kuch bhi. We always had that. Not only with Bellinger, with other batches have done that. So there was this batch of, and I can take two names here because this they come straight into my mind. One was Divesh and the second was Lopa. And we done that. So on one fine day, it so happened that on 29th of October, which is my birthday, incidentally, I was doing a workshop in Wellinger. It was a Sunday and I was doing a workshop in Wellinger. Nothing related to the students. The students were all out. This was a general workshop. And as I stepped out of the college that day at about 5:30, I saw a huge crowd outside the gates of Wellinger, right? And there I saw a small table and a cake on the footpath of Wellinger.
Okay.
This batch, which was in its third semester then, and I had taught them in the first semester, this batch, which was in the third semester then, they got to know that I'm in the campus doing something else. And on 5:30, on the footpath of Wellinger, we cut a cake.
Wow.
Now, can you tell me, is there anything better in this world than this?
No. So that's what you bring on the table, the bonding, the
That's what I get
humbleness.
back. Look, that's what I get back, Nishant. Let's not make mistake that I get back. I get back of the love and affection of so many people. Today, I must have got about 150 messages from many of my past students. This is the love and affection we get back.
But that's
Like
your
we give
humbleness,
10%, we get 90% back.
definitely.
So we give 10%, we get 90% back, right? But that 10%, yes, I give that 10%. I want to give that 10% because I believe that we all owe it to each other.
That's your humbleness, and that's what attracted towards me to be in touch with you, build a rapport with him, and that's what growth, the evolvedness of the friendship, the mentorship, and the professor beyond the college has increased every year. And we've been working together as a client and a
Yeah, for the last three
CA
years now.
also last 3 years.
Last 3 years.
And irrespective of having a little bit differences
No,
also,
no,
we still, the bond has been always stronger.
so let me add on here. It's not that we are always so sweet with each other, right? We have had some of the harshest of communication, but because of that bond that you built, that harshest of communication was related only to work, and it did not
Definitely.
cover from work to individuals.
The best part is after always interaction or alteration or difference of opinions, it always been a time where we again call on the second day and we'll say, "Chal, Nishant, let's go for a daru or a drink."
Absolutely.
So
No, I think that is
that is something
important.
I loved it, and this is what I expect all the teachers and the professor to hold our hands, guide us beyond the college campus and be with us, because that's the connection which help us out to become a better human being, better leader, and we will always learn. Sometimes what happens, what you learn in the college campus is only for academics and for getting a
Yes.
marks or a job.
Yes.
But when you go into the live in the practical world, you really need that. And that's what inspired being a CA and a lawyer, a master's in law. MBA taught me something more better and much different. And it always add value to what I was doing. And that's the reason I believe everyone should actually go for an MBA. And if you have someone like Mulay Chakravorty as a professor, it's an icing on the cake.
So, Nishant, there's a history to this. And the history to this is I consider myself a failed doctor because my parents want me to, especially my late father, he wanted me to become a doctor. And I
Okay.
didn't become a doctor. So I consider myself a failed doctor. So doctor नहीं बना तो क्या बनना है पैरामेडिकल बन जाओ. So I became BSc microbiology and MSc biochemistry. वो सब कर लिया. About I started working in 91, 92, and it was somewhere in the early 2000. I started questioning myself. Why did I do what I did in 86, 89, 91? So what I did was probably not out of my passion. Currently, what I'm doing is out of my passion. But for about long 20 years, I did not do things out of my passion. So when I was contemplating setting up of my consulting or company beyond Red Ocean Consulting, people used to ask me, why do you want to set that up? And the answer to that question was, people probably should not make the mistake that I made. So if there's somebody to, because I lost my father, he was very unwell in the late 90s, and I lost him in the early 2000s. And then all of a sudden, there was no anchor in the family, right? You could do anything that you wanted. And I know I made a lot of wrong choices at that point in time. I made a lot of mistakes in my life. So in hindsight, I should not have made those mistakes. So my entire workspace evolved that could I handhold somebody else so that they don't make the mistakes that I did. And it was always my endeavor that if I can do that, my life is well spent. And that's where the entire background of Beyond Red Ocean Consulting comes from. That today we are doing business owners. Am I, am I, do I have a business of 100 crore? I don't. But can I look at an 100 crore business and look at from outside and say, these are the mistakes that you're making and can you transfer, can you change? Yes, I can. So this entire human transformation has been from journey of human transformation.
So I
So it
would like
always
to
has a
add.
history. Everything has a history and everything has a reason.
So I will add to that history. The reason I now feel why we are connected and where we have a bonding also. I come from a family of engineers, so I was actually a failed engineer who turned out to be a
Okay.
chartered accountant. So I'm the only
Mm,
person in my family, in my entire clan, who's a chartered accountant. Everyone is
mm,
a family of engineers. My dad wanted me to be an engineer, but
mm,
I actually loved commerce, and I could not get much marks in the science college. And I thought, let's go
mm,
for a chartered accountant. Now he's
mm,
proud that I've done a CA, a lawyer, and an MBA. So we have a
mm.
connection of a failed doctor and a failed engineer to come out and evolve
Correct.
ourselves beyond something which we never thought we could have done that. And it is all to the
Absolutely.
grace of God and mentors like you that we both been
And
happy
and
to.
and, and it's I think it's universe as a whole. You probably followed your passion from day one. I followed it after 23 years. That's the only difference.
So I want to
But
like to know
uh,
about that
uh,
red dot in the red ocean. So how do you, what
uh,
exactly, if for the businessman community, if you can just give a little bit brief, what exactly you cover in the consultancy. So I'm sure they will definitely try to connect to you on that beyond red
so
ocean.
okay. So a lot of people know about Red Ocean. I'm sure you remember what you did in Wellington under the Red Ocean strategy of and Blue Ocean strategy, right? So Red Ocean strategy is all blood. That's the concept of Red Ocean strategy. That you're competing with competitors and you're shedding blood, and hence the water turns red. When I was thinking about naming my organization, I said I will not get into that space of blood. I wanted to do something beyond. So it could be green, it could be blue, it could be anything, but not red. And hence I said, let's move out of that red ocean. And today, one of the areas that we work with is transformation of business owners. So today we were doing a webinar in the morning that How do you restart your business post COVID? What are the things that you need to do? So closing was easy. Government makes an announcement, kal se
You need
office
to
band.
close
So you
it. Come
go,
on.
take your laptops, take your papers, and take whatever, and go home and start setting up your home office. But today, when the government says open, reopening is not going to be so easy, right? So you need to have your systems in place. You have to have your disinfections in place. You have to have the new sales strategies in place. You need to have your new numbers in place. So you need to have all that. So this dot, like to answer your question, this dot denotes the bindi that my mother wears.
Okay.
And that has always been, I could never ever envisage her without that bindi, right? So this was that bindi. I put it in the center and say, ocean ko pura make it full red, so that it denotes that power of the Indian woman, the power that we all get from the Indian woman, right? That bindi, because I could never envisage. So I used to, when my brother got married and my bhabi came home, she was never a bindi person. So I used to force her, ki bindi pehno, bindi pehno, bindi pehno, bindi pehno. So that is that. But this Beyond Red Ocean Consulting is all about today doing two things. One is transforming business owners and transforming self. So I also run a program called as Design Your Destiny, which I'm sure you know, and I don't want to get into that on the life coaching space.
So I have a lot of friends who are entrepreneur, startups, and all that in my viewership, and definitely my friends and my clientele. So I will like to. I know it's like a special thing what you do a post-COVID implementation. I would like 3 pointer what you can guide them or just an advice for them if they want to start the unlock 4.0 using your implementation. Just a three mantra if you can just share with them.
Okay. So the first mantra I give that I tell my people, the first mantra, and this is very powerful. This is nothing to do with business. This is very powerful. I tell people to go back to that day when you started your business. Like Nishant, you go back to that day when you started Nishant Mehta and Company, chartered accounting firms. What were you doing about 15 days before that business started? You were in that celebration mode कि नया कुछ आ रहा है. You were announcing, right? We were all doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
You are announcing, whether it's social media. That time social media was probably not so strong
Not
when you
so
started a long time
yeah.
back, but you were using the other platform. Today, why are we restarting with despondency? Why are we starting the restart phase with fear? Why are we restarting with uncertainty? Why is today not a celebration? We've overcome, right? We've overcome COVID. Yes, it has taken a hit on our finances, maybe on our cash flows, but we've overcome. So the first most important thing is change mindset, that today is celebration day. I'm restarting my business. I will look at the entire positivity and say, how do I look at the world with a different a pair of glasses? That this is positivity. I have overcome. I will celebrate. I will launch. I will make announcements. I will go to social media. I'll make announcement that I'm coming on such and such day. I'm restarting. I'll call up my competitors. I'll call up my customers. I'll call up my vendors. I'll tell them I am here, right? I am coming. So that's the first thing. It's a huge change of mindset that you need to do. The second shift is not on mindset, but it's on numbers. The numbers we have done in the month of February, March for fiscal 21 are no longer valid. You need to relook at those numbers once again. Please don't drive a car like a car without a dashboard. I'm going from Bombay to Pune, and I don't know how many kilometers I've traveled, how many kilometers are yet to come, and how much liters of petrol that I have. So relook at your numbers. Let there be a business dashboard which you're monitoring on a daily basis. Whether you're doing a marketing plan separately, whether you're doing your business plan separately, whether you're doing your sales forecasting, rolling sales, 12-month sales forecasting, rolling 12-month cash flow, you're looking at those separately. Relook at this entire thing. Third, relook at how you are going to sell. Today is the best time to sell, Nishant. And a lot of people don't believe me when I make this statement. Today, you don't have to invest in corporate events. Today, you don't have to go into exhibitions. Today, you don't have to host this. Today, you don't have to travel all over the world to meet your customer. Today is all virtual. Your Facebook marketing, your LinkedIn marketing, your Google marketing, your whatever social media marketing you're going to talk about, that YouTube marketing. So today is the cheapest marketing era ever in the history of business. How are you leveraging on that? So I talk in terms of force, a cycle which says talks about how are you building visibility. Visibility leads to influence. Influence leads to trust, and trust leads to business. So are you building that cycle? Are you visible where your customers want to see? Steve Jobs made a very important announcement, statement that if you want to please everybody in life, become an ice cream seller. In life, you can never please everybody. So when
Yeah.
you're doing your social media marketing, people will come and tell you, "Itna zyada kyun kar rahe ho?" But more is always better than less, because you don't know when your customers are going to see you. Where are they
Visibility
going
is
to see
always
you?
important. Yeah, yeah.
Visibility
Visibility
is
is always important.
extremely important. So there are so many of absolutely zero priced things that you can do. Go and do it. Even if you want to pay a price, please pay it, but you can test and measure and then move. ठीक है, फेसबुक का नेचर है, लिंक्डइन करते हैं, लिंक्डइन नेचर है, गूगल करते हैं, गूगल नेचर है, यूट्यूब करते हैं. You can keep on pivoting. So these are the three messages that I would want for all business owners, that look at celebration, look at your numbers, and look at your new types of marketing.
Great insight, and I'm sure the people who are viewing it and the entrepreneur and the startup community, this is something the way to start Unlock 4.0. You heard from the best person on the branding front and beyond a red ocean, considering it doing an amazing job on Unlock 4.0 post COVID, how to restart your business. Great insight, Shom. We loved it, and it is great to have you on a special occasion like a Teacher's Day. We're looking forward to more and more enlightening session from you, and I'm definitely inviting you to be part of my podcast also in future. Definitely, there will be more
Certainly.
interaction on the way to brand yourself, the brand, what you're known for. This was just a special occasion to celebrate Teachers' Day by having you in my life and the reason of my success. What I learned about brand management from you in college and after college. Thank you very much for being coming here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nishant. And thank you, everybody. And wish everybody a happy Teachers' Day. And
Happy Teachers Day.
to all the teachers out there with whom I have not been able to connect, happy Teachers' Day. And to all the students who have come into my life, may you become extremely successful in whatever you're doing. Thank you so much, Nishant.
Thank you, and happy Teachers Day to my lawyers, my law teachers, and my chartered accountant teachers. Unfortunately, they were too busy and they could not come in, but I would love to have equal respect to all the three degrees which I'm holding. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.